Good afternoon and thanks for watching Midday. Columbus will make changes on how the Trotter Convention Center is rented after Thursday's deadly shooting. In a statement, city spokesman Joe Dillon says the city is looking at the details of what happened before the shooting. Mayor Robert Smith will meet with city department leaders to come up with a plan and make the necessary changes. Some of those changes could involve earlier closing times for events that have alcohol. There were 4 Columbus police officers and 2 private security personnel at the Trotter during the shooting. One officer was there to help 27-year-old Cordell Lewis seconds after he was shot. Nearly 500 people paid to go to a party at the Trotter and were leaving when the shooting happened. No arrests have been made in this homicide. And an update now on a story we've been following out of West Point. We now know the name of a man's body found inside a burning home. Crews were called to the 100 block of Washington Street in West Point just after 4 yesterday afternoon. Clay County Coroner Alvin Carter Jr. says fire crews found the body of 62-year-old William Brownlee Sr. in one of the bedrooms. Right now, it's unclear how that fire started. Carter says the body is being sent to Pearl for an autopsy. West Point Police, the Clay County Coroner's Office, and the State Fire Marshal are handling the investigation. No foul play suspected after a body was found at Lake Lowndes State Park. Lowndes County Coroner Greg Merchant says he's still working to get in touch with all of the person's family. The body was found near the multi-purpose center early Thursday afternoon. No other information is being released at this time. A Brandon resident is accused of embezzling tens of thousands of dollars from her government job while working for the Public Employees Retirement System, or PEERS. Amanda Combs allegedly pocketed $65,000 in benefits. Combs, who worked in the payments division, is accused of redirecting retiree and beneficiary payments into her own account. The 31-year-old woman turned herself into the Warren County Sheriff's Office. She's charged with 3 counts of embezzlement by a public employee. If convicted, Combs faces up to 60 years in prison and $15,000 in fines. And new this afternoon, a man is arrested in Prentiss County stemming from a burglary that happened earlier this month. Ashanti Sampson was booked on Tuesday and charged with burglary of a building. Investigators say the 33-year-old and another man were seen in a black Jeep Cherokee breaking into an outbuilding in the Casey Creek community. The burglary happened November 9th. Sampson's bond was set at $15,000. He remains in custody. The belongings taken included an air compressor, a saw, and other tools and miscellaneous items. The investigation is ongoing and will be presented to the next grand jury. If you have any information about the other person involved in this crime, or if you think you might have purchased the stolen items, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-773-TIPS or call the Prentiss County Sheriff's Office at 728-6232. It is time now to get the latest on our afternoon forecast. Here is meteorologist Amanda Reynolds. Amanda?
Well, it's a beautiful afternoon out there across the area. If you went out Black Friday shopping this morning, still a beautiful day out there. 59 degrees current temperature in downtown Tupelo. You can see just a few clouds. Most of us have hit that 60-degree mark or are fairly close. Vernon, Columbus, Amory all at 60 degrees, and a few areas still hanging back in the upper 50s, but going into the rest of today, we'll see plenty of sunshine and the seasonable weather going to continue. More on your forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Amanda, thanks a lot. Well, there are new indications that President Trump's former national security advisor, Michael Flynn, may be cooperating with Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian election interference. Mola Lange reports.
A lawyer for former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn told President Trump's legal team Wednesday that they can no longer be in communication. The move may signal that the retired 3-star general may now be cooperating with Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation.
Mike Flynn is a fine person, and I asked for his resignation.
Mr. Trump fired Flynn just 3 weeks after becoming president, as reports surfaced that Flynn misled the vice president about his contacts with Russia. CBS News has learned President Trump's legal team has been expecting either an indictment of Michael Flynn or his son or a plea deal involving both. The president's attorney, Jay Sekulow, tells CBS News if it is a plea deal, that doesn't necessarily mean it has anything to do with the president.
The press, I know, doesn't have any questions. If you do, we won't take them, but that's all right.
On Thanksgiving, President Trump avoided questions from the press as he and First Lady Melania Trump handed out turkey sandwiches at a Coast Guard station near his South Florida resort. President Trump spent the morning talking on the phone with the president of Turkey before playing golf with Tiger Woods and Dustin Johnson. He returns to Washington Sunday. The president is scheduled to meet with congressional leaders next week. One pressing issue is funding the government by December 8th to avoid a potential shutdown. The president also says he wants tax reform finished before the end of the year. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, the White House.
One of the biggest shopping days of the year is underway. Next on Midday, some shoppers tell us why they brave the crowds today. We'll be right back after this.
You're watching Midday with Renee Skinner.
Welcome back, everyone. Your time now is 12:08. If you were in Starkville for the Egg Bowl, not only did you see a big crowd, but chances are you smelled the food. Well, the Junction at Mississippi State played host to hundreds of families this year who spent their Thanksgiving tailgating. Both Mississippi State and Ole Miss fans were cooking up big meals in light of the big game. Turkey and dressing, mac and cheese, sweet potatoes, along with other fixings were all on the menu. Several families tell us they enjoyed the friendly family atmosphere that made this year's tailgate so unique.
Just the experience, the atmosphere out here is overwhelming. To see all these people and all the effort that they put into it, you can tell there's a lot of enthusiasm for the school and the football team.
We all get out ready and get them all going, watching games on TV, getting ready for the tailgate, and then we get things set up and head into the game, and we're all excited and ready to say Hail State.
Families also put up lavish decorations of their team during the tailgate. Two former Mississippi State football players were honored in a big way right before the Egg Bowl. Many may remember Frank Dowsing Jr. and Robert Bell. They're the first African-American athletes who played for state. Well, last night, the Dowsing Bell Plaza was dedicated on the north end of Davis Wade Stadium in their honor. 47 years ago, Dowsing had one of the most memorable plays when his interception in the end zone sealed a victory for the Bulldogs. Bell was a regular starter and fan favorite, earning 3 letters for the Bulldogs.
It took their courage and their leadership and conviction to come and set the example. To this very day, our university is the most diverse university in all the Southeastern Conference. And they paved the way for us to be able to say that today.
Athletic Director John Cohen says Dowsing and Bell will never be forgotten. Well, after the turkeys have been carved, the shopping begins. In our area, businesses are ready for Black Friday shoppers. Retailers at the mall at Barnes Crossing in Tupelo have their display windows ready for the big sales. The day after Thanksgiving usually generates the biggest single day of foot traffic for most stores. While the mall at Barnes Crossing is expecting large crowds and a festive atmosphere, the mall manager has some words of advice for shoppers out there.
Black Friday is really a day where they kick off with the big discounts. The customers know it. They love to get out and experience the energy. We always tell people, if you're not used to shopping long hours, make sure you stop, sit on a bench, get a bite to eat, get a snack. Don't wear yourself down if you're not used to those marathon shopping trips.
It's Black Friday, but retailers are already looking ahead to Cyber Monday. Shoppers are expected to spend $6.6 billion on Cyber Monday, up 16% from last year, according to Adobe Analytics. Well, today kicks off the biggest weekend of the year for retailers. Nearly 7 out of 10 Americans are expected to drop some cash over the next few days. Nikki Batiste has more.
From coast to coast, people wait all year to shop on Black Friday.
I took a 2-hour nap after I had Thanksgiving.
These women in suburban Chicago started their shopping marathon at midnight.
There's a lot of 50% offs and there's a lot of buy one, get one free, which are very exciting.
This group wore pajamas to the mall near Boston, while others lined up for blocks in the cold, waiting to grab deals in New Jersey. Suzanne Grant lives for the annual Bargain Bonanza.
For how many years? 25 years. 3 sisters-in-law have been getting together on Black Friday. It's a sacred day. We get together, we do all our shopping.
She's searching for today's hot deals at the Westchester Mall just north of New York City.
We do some serious shopping.
This intense day of shopping can turn malls across the country into battlegrounds. But analysts say retailers are starting to put less emphasis on just one day.
We've been seeing the graying of Black Friday. It was, was Black Friday, and it was Black Friday weekend, and it was even Black Friday week. Now, it's Black November.
The National Retail Federation estimates 164 million people will shop in stores and online this year. That's 10 million more than last year, and for the first time ever, the estimate includes Cyber Monday. I like to try things on and touch it, and you can't do that online.
Black Friday is still the reigning retail champ, with shoppers out in force looking for deep discounts. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, White Plains, New York.
Now, retail analysts say shoppers will save big today on TVs, tablets, appliances, and jewelry. Well, I know one person who is not doing any Black Friday shopping, and that is our meteorologist, Amanda Reynolds. Amanda, how's our weather looking out there?
Well, not only for today, but the upcoming week is going to remain sunny and seasonable. We will have the chance for some rain later next week. I'll have details coming up right after the break.